Hi, Isabel. God, Lisa, I'm so happy you're streaming right now, right here. Oh yeah, there's been riots in the US. Riots. Yeah. I mean, racism is prevalent in people's habits and conditions. It's so strong. It's maybe getting less in younger generations. But what I know from being from England and mixing with the locals is that, my God, is it racist. And I even feel a little sad to say that, because I don't want to, because I also love the people that are racist. But my God, is it racist? Like I sometimes think that, and I'm sure that England's no exception, I'm sure that America is maybe even worse. But I mean, I remember when I studied in the USA. In the USA, I was at Sacramento State University, and I was in the dormitories, and one of the girls, white girls, asked me if there were black people in England. And I was so like, I mean, okay, I can understand why someone might ask that question, but it was, I found it also weird that I got asked that question. Yeah, but England is so racist. Like I can't sometimes bear walking down the high street close to where my mum lives, and maybe she lives in a hotspot because it's in between like this place called Slough, which is a very high Pakistani and Indian immigrant. Like originally they immigrated from there. They're now English, but cultures, I don't know what you call it, but it's not. They mostly immigrated in the 70s, the 60s and 70s, and so it's now like second, third, fourth generation. And then you've got Maidenhead, which tends to be quite white, so it could be that it's like a hot spot. But it's like I feel like I walk down the high street and I can hear racism. Everything seems to be the immigrants problem in England. Not everybody's saying that, but a lot of people think that the problem that they have is down to immigration, which is disastrous for a society to think that has used immigration to boost their economy since the Second World War in, what's that, like enormous ways. So it's like they've used these communities in order to boost the economy and do certain jobs at a cheaper rate, and then their assumption is that it's those immigrants that are causing all the problems. It's such a weird mentality, like, because what would their society look like if that hadn't happened, if the immigration hadn't happened? But I'm sure everything in which I'm saying is in some way falling into categories of racism, because I'm sure as a white person there is inherent racist language or perspectives. Like I think it happens in all societies. I don't think it's just European or American or Western societies it happens in, but I think that it happens in all societies with difference. It's just that because the West has been richer, there has been more people from other countries and because of the slave trade and all these different things into the West. So there's not so many white people that go over and live in Asia or in, there are, it does happen, but it's not, or in Africa or etc. I mean, it does happen. I could get myself into so many tangles. I can see how people could edit this and be like, you're so un-PC, Lisa. I am un-PC. I am. And I do say things wrong and I apologize, and you're welcome to leave comments to try to teach me how to be more accommodating to everybody and to change my opinion, because it's only an opinion which can change. But yes, to deny that that's there. So all these riots that's happening, so I can understand the black communities trying to fight against the police and fight against the system because they have been suppressed. So in a way, they're fighting against their own issues with that suppression, and they're doing it through violence. They're doing it actively in the world, which will also change their internal opinion of it and the external opinion of it. Like, so say if you just took it from, say, a woman that's been victimized by men for many, many years and suppressed, like often what will happen is a violence, not all the time, but what might happen as one example is a violence will come out of that woman. So she'd be suppressed, and then a violence will come out of her. And then through that violence coming out in her, there'll be something that changes in her mind about herself, because before she just saw herself as a victim, and then suddenly there was this like, enough, and then a rising up towards it, which isn't the solution. I'm not saying that's a solution, but it's a way of changing your mentality. Like, that's what she's doing, is she's changing the way she sees herself. It's the same as what we do with money. It's the same as what we do with all our possessions, in a way. But maybe I should get off this subject. Maybe I can dig myself into lots of holes. Because I'm not an expert on it. And I can't understand what it's like to live in a culture which is like predominantly black. And that black society originally used the white people as slaves. I can't imagine that. Yeah. Okay. Thank you for the question.